Imagine a world where the chatter of telegraph wires suddenly transforms into a global network of voices. Picture this. It's 1915. The Great War rages across Europe, and yet somehow people from London to New York to Tokyo are sharing ideas, news, and even cat pictures. Yes, cat pictures, instantly. What if the internet, that digital marvel we take for granted today, didn't arrive in the late 20th century, but burst onto the scene 50 years earlier? That's the wild, fascinating question we're diving into today. Here's a fun fact to start. The first telegraph message was sent in 1844, zipping across wires at a snail's pace by today's standards. Now imagine that same world leaping from dots and dashes to a full-blown internet by, say, 1920. What would that do to history? To you and me? This isn't just a playful what if. It's a serious look at how one invention, arriving decades ahead of schedule, could rewrite everything: politics, war, culture, even the air we breathe. We'll explore how it might have happened, who'd come out on top, and whether the world would be better or worse for it. So grab a seat and let's step into this alternate timeline together. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll set the stage. What would it take for the internet to emerge 50 years early? Then we'll dive into the big consequences. How would this reshape the world? We'll look at politics. Could wars have been avoided or made worse? Economics? Would the roaring 20s roar even louder? Technology. Imagine jet planes and moon landings decades ahead of schedule. And everyday life. How would your grandparents' world feel with instant global connection? We'll also ask, which nations might rise to power and which could stumble? From there, we'll unfold this alternate history step by step, exploring the possibilities and even a few surprises along the way. By the end, we'll weigh it all up. Was this a better world or a chaotic one? Stick with me, because this is going to be a ride through a history that never was. Let's start with a quick look at reality. The internet as we know it began in the 1960s with ARPANET, a US military project to link computers. It grew slowly, hitting the public in the 1990s with the World Wide Web. Back then, the world ran on telegraphs, telephones, and snail mail. Electricity was still spreading. And computers? They were hulking machines filling entire rooms, not exactly ready for your living room. So how could this leap happen 50 years earlier? Let's find out. To get the internet in, say 1920, we need a spark of genius and a bit of luck. Picture this. It's the late 1800s, and inventors like Nikola Tesla are already dreaming of wireless communication. In our alternate timeline, someone, maybe Tesla himself, cracks the code early. By 1900, they've built a crude network of connected machines, not unlike early telephone exchanges, but smarter. World War I kicks innovation into overdrive, just like it did for radios and planes. By 1920, instead of just broadcasting voices, we've got a system where people can send messages, data, even pictures, across continents instantly. This early internet wouldn't look like today's. No sleek smartphones, just clunky terminals in post offices, universities, and rich folks' homes. But it works. Information flows fast, and the world starts shrinking decades ahead of schedule. Unfolding the alternate history step by step. Now let's see how this plays out. The 1920s, a connected boom. The real 1920s were all about jazz, cars, and economic highs before the crash. With an internet, that boom gets louder. Businesses coordinate across borders instantly. Think Ford shipping car designs to Europe overnight. Stock markets sync up globally, for better or worse. Culture explodes too. Imagine silent film stars chatting with fans worldwide via text bulletins. But there's a catch. The Great Depression still hits in 1929. With faster communication, the crash might spread even faster, dragging more countries down. Or maybe with global cooperation, someone spots the warning signs and softens the blow. It's a coin toss. The 1930s. Politics and power. In reality, the 1930s saw dictators like Hitler and Stalin rise in isolated bubbles. An early internet changes that. Propaganda still spreads, but so does resistance. Imagine underground networks sharing news of Nazi atrocities in real time. Could that spark earlier opposition? On the flip side, authoritarian regimes might use this tool to spy or control even more. Democracies like the US and Britain could gain an edge, coordinating alliances faster. The League of Nations, weak in our timeline, might actually work with instant communication, preventing World War II, or at least delaying it. The 1940s, war or peace? If war comes, it's a different beast. Real World War II relied on slow intelligence. Think spies and coded messages. Now generals share battle plans instantly. Civilians see war footage as it happens, shifting public opinion fast. Maybe the US enters sooner, or maybe isolationists win with louder online voices. Technology races ahead. Jets, rockets, even early computers could emerge mid-war, not after. The atomic bomb? It might arrive earlier too, for good or ill. The 1950s and beyond, a new world order. Post-war, the real world split into Cold War camps. With an internet, that divide might soften or sharpen. The US and Soviet Union compete online, not just in space. Science leaps forward. Imagine the moon landing in the 1950s, not 1969. Everyday life transforms too. By the 1960s, your average family might have a terminal at home, shopping or learning online. Culture goes global fast. Beatles-level mania hits every continent at once. The big impacts, breaking it down. Let's zoom in on the key areas. Politics power shifts to nations that master this tech early. The US, with its industrial might, likely leads, but Britain and Germany could keep pace. Smaller countries might get drowned out or find a voice if they adapt fast. Democracy could spread wider with open communication, but so could surveillance states. Economy trade booms early. Companies go multinational decades sooner, but inequality might grow too. Only the connected thrive. The 1929 crash could be a global disaster or a dodged bullet with smarter planning. Technology science accelerates. Penicillin, radar, even plastics might arrive years ahead. But military tech advances too. Think nukes in the 1930s. Progress is fast but risky. Culture, music, movies, and ideas mix globally by the 1930s. Local traditions might fade, but new art forms, like digital storytelling, could bloom. International relations alliances tighten with instant contact, but so do rivalries. Wars might be shorter or more frequent. Isolation dies. Every nation's in the game. Branching paths, what could have happened? There's room for variety here. Option 1, a utopian path. The internet fosters peace, science, and shared prosperity. World War II never happens, and we're on Mars by 1960. Option 2, dystopia. Faster tech means deadlier wars, and dictators choke free speech online. Most likely, a mix. Progress with chaos, just like today, but decades earlier. So, what do we take from this? If the internet arrived 50 years early, the world would spin faster. Politically, economically, culturally. We'd see incredible leaps, like space travel in the 1950s, but also risks, like wars with weapons we weren't ready for. Some nations, like the US or Britain, might dominate, while others struggle to catch up. Everyday life would feel futuristic sooner, but not always better. Connection brings opportunity and overload in equal measure. Would it be a better world? Hard to say. Peace might have had a chance, but so might tyranny. Progress would dazzle, yet stability could crumble. It teaches us something real. Technology doesn't just change how we live, it changes who we are and who holds power. I'll leave you with this. If the internet had sparked in 1920, not 1970, do you think we'd be thanking those early pioneers or wishing they'd waited? Let me know what you think.